but it wouldn't capture it in actual full screen, so we'll have to do it this way. Bring up my Alright, so we're gonna begin our story. And if I know in my thing it said Siren Marie, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call her Triple G. And we'll just play a little bit of this.
Memories are of loss and pain. My natural parents exist only as shadows, forgotten specters of a past I have long mourned. They were wandering thieves, you see, and a child was not something they planned on or wanted. I was left under an oak tree one morning, discarded. I remember the sting of rain hitting my face, blending with the tears of a child who had never known love or acceptance. But then fate intervened. A couple who had desired a baby but never had the good fortune to sire one of their own found me under that tree. He could scarcely believe that someone would leave this lovely child in the woods like so much rubbish. They took me into their humble home and their heart. I became their blood, and I blossomed under their care and love. They paid for schooling with their meager funds and made sure I knew the acceptance most children take for granted. On the eve of my 21st birthday, I knew it was time to leave my beloved home and forge my own path in life. My goal was a simple one: to find my birth parents and find out why they abandoned me. My mother and father did not object, but I could see the pain in their faces as I spoke of my mission. But it was something that I had to do, and they understood. I knew that there would be an empty space in my soul as long as these questions went unanswered. I explained it was no fault of theirs, as I had done nothing but love and nurture me all these years, and my heart would always belong to them. But this yearning in my very being would never be quenched without finding out what happened. The time had come to begin the most difficult journey of my life.
Alright. Triple G. Okay, but turn it down just a little bit so you guys, because it's not going to talk anymore for right now, so. My darling Triple G, I have long dreaded this day, but we knew it would come. All of our hopes and prayers go with you. I knew it would be hardest for Dad. Indeed, he could hardly meet my gaze. What your mother said, child, the same. My heart broke as I stared into the eyes of my beloved family, brimming with unshed tears. I shall miss you, dear ones. We shall see each other again. Oh my God, this is loud. Turn that down. That is freaking loud. I shall miss you, dear ones. We will see each other again. Do not worry. The road leading out of my village was a familiar one, with stretches of odd trees and the songs of birds echoing through the air. I eventually came to a crossroads, one that had been spoken about in whispers throughout my childhood. Further down these paths was cursed ground, deemed forbidden to all villagers. Various tales of danger and treachery were spoken of, but I was never sure if I believed them or not. They seemed like the tales designed to keep curious children from wandering. She has life points, so maybe there is something more to this than just a visual novel. There were two paths to consider, one going east and one going west. Neither appeared any different than the other. It was time to choose a road and follow it. Take the west path or take the east path? Take the east path. This going is thick and rough this way. The going, I'm like, what? Okay, the going is thick and rough this way. Twisted tangles of trees make it so dark, I can hardly see a damn thing. I eventually came to a small clearing, and ahead I hear a loud rustling and snorting. I'm not sure what it is, but it might be a threat. Try to hide in the bush, stand and face whatever it is. Triple G. I stand my ground, hoping this isn't the end of my journey already. Coming out of the jungle is a huge, angry boar who charges at me, knocking me over as it heads into the brush. Oh man. I only thank the gods the boar had no interest in me, but I landed hard on my back. Lose 3 life points. I dust myself off and continue through the dense jungle. One thing that would have been cool with this, that they could have done to kind of spin it, like she has life points, obviously. So they could have had it to where she could have engaged it in battle and tried to defend herself. And then you click through. Kind of like a text-based adventure. That would have been pretty cool. I swear, this jungle seems to go forever. Finally, I make it to a clearing where there's a small brook. The water looks so clear and blue. This cursed swamp is making me thirsty. Maybe I could take a drink here? Take a sip from the lake, pass fearing poison or something worse. Take a sip! Well, I'm practically probably about to kill her. Watch. I slowly take a sip of the water. It tastes amazing. I can swear it's the most refreshing water I have ever had. Gain 4 life points. Feeling invigorated, I set off through the woods. Okay, well this is still kind of different though. I've done lots of visual novels and I've read visual novels in the past. So it is kind of different. It's just, I just think when she came up to that board, it could have made it seem a little different, but it's fine. After traveling a while longer, the jungle finally gives way to a clearing where I can see hills ahead and a glorious blue sky. I never thought I'd be so happy to see the sky again. So technically, this is kind of a text-based adventure, I guess. I look around and ahead a little ways. I see a young girl sitting on the ground, her face wrinkled with worry and distress. She sees me and walks over, smiling a little. Greetings, my lady. Elthina. That's a pretty name. My name is Elthina, and it seems I've gotten myself quite lost this time. Mother warned me about wandering too far, but I did not listen. Triple G, and greetings to you, dear. I'm sorry you're lost. I'm a visitor to these parts. Where am I exactly? Why, you're in Shanty Hills. Our town is, well, somewhere around here. Not too far. Oh, north. I think, yes, head north and you should see it quickly enough. So should you begin your ass back to town? Thanks very much for the directions, lady. I should head north, as you say, and find this town. I've been traveling all day and quite tired. Farewell. I wave goodbye to the friendly young girl and head north as she directed me. A town and some friendly faces sound lovely about now. Gets there, battle, kills her, the end. Like, damn it! I walk north quite a ways and terrain starts to get really rough and rocky, and the foliage disappears. Maybe that girl was really lost, because there doesn't seem to be a city this way. I suddenly hear a crunchy sound and stop. From behind a stone peak, a man dressed in thick robes and a black hood jumps out. He sneers and comes towards me. Stop, bandit! I am a scout with a large army at my back. Bah, lying little girl. It seems Elthina sent me one who enjoys deception. It shall cost you. The bandit charges me. I turn to run but feel something hitting my head. Loses 2 life points. God damn it. I wake up on the ground sometime later. Ouch! I have a nice lump on my head. Mother always told me I was not skilled at lying, and she was indeed correct. Time to head back. Okay, so I take that back, what I said earlier about when the board came around. This is technically a text-based adventure. It's kind of, it is a text-based adventure. I arrived back at the clearing after reaching my steps. Elthina is nowhere to be found. Perhaps it's paranoia, but I feel like she was sent to stop me on my mission. Or maybe just a robbery. But how could anyone know of my quest? As I look around, I see a path leading east that I don't remember seeing previously. Very strange indeed. Time to continue, I suppose. The terrain gets rugged and rocky as I travel along, and the sun is really hot. I suddenly hear the loud cry of a bird of some sort, and a huge black raven begins to circle around me as I walk. It's probably a vulture. The raven almost seems to stare at me, daring me to keep going. This is indeed no random wandering bird, but an omen of some sort. A chill runs down my spine, but come too far to stop now. After a few minutes, the raven glides off into the distance, and I continue onward. Another few hours of walking, and the landscape changes again, becoming filled with grass and trees. It steepens a bit as well, and the going becomes a little slower. Finally, ahead, I see a mountain with a huge castle sitting atop it. I stop in my tracks as I hear someone moaning just off the trail. I follow the sound and discover a wounded man kneeling on the ground. He is covered in scratches and blood and seems barely able to go on. What should I do? Help the wounded man? Good sir, how can I help you? What happened? I was ambushed by a group of men. They were looking for someone, goes by the name Triple G. Oh no, how can this be? Who could have possibly known of my journey? I have not encountered this person, sir. The man falls to the ground, coughing hard, then is still. He has sadly passed on, and it's my fault. You head east as it's the only direction that is clear. Well, Triple G, you done did it now. The going gets rougher as I travel east. The trees fill in once again until a few hours in, when I can see to the north that the ground flattens out. As I turn a bit more northwards, I see a small tunnel ahead where I can fit through, or else I can walk through very thick wilderness. The tunnel is fairly dark, and I can see too much, but it could save me a lot of time and trouble pushing through all those damn prickly branches. The choice is mine. Because what if you go in that tunnel and you get ambushed again and you lose more life points? But what if you get pricked by a tree and somehow this shit is just magically poisonous? Like, I'm pushed through the woods. I'm sorry. I sigh and rate myself for slogging through these triangle branches. Ah, damn it! No matter the cost to your flesh, the going is hard and slow, and I end up with scratches after a few hours walk. Loses 1 life point. But she could have won in the tunnel and lost more life points. So I guess I'm not too mad. The terrain grows slowly more desolate and swampy as I continue onward through the afternoon. Suddenly, as I step off a mossy bank, my feet start to sink quickly into the ground. Quicksand! And we died! I look around for a way out. I see a branch hanging above me. I could grab and pull myself up, but it would be a tough reach. Or I could just reach for the bank in front of me and try to escape that way. I must make my decision quickly. Grab the branch. I reach up towards the hanging branch and manage to snare it with my hand, slowly pulling myself out of the muck. Phew! I was quite fortunate to escape. I continue onward through the gloom. As I walk along the terrain, it grows more swampy and gloomy. The very trees seem like they are crowding in on me. I stop and look around, having the odd feeling something is watching me. A deep and sad voice echoes in my head suddenly. Greetings to you, Triple G. You seem quite troubled. How might we help? Oh dear, where's this coming from? I spin around, trying to see who is speaking, and how do they know my name? Keep talking to the mysterious person. I speak it out. Who are you? Where are you? This is both terrifying and exhilarating at the same time. I can barely get the words out. Hello? Yes, this journey has tested my fortitude for certain. How could you know about my feelings and such? I always thought the trees were just trees. They reply, sound a little indignant. Just trees indeed. No, dear girl, we are living beings, much like yourself. Every heartbeat echoes through us. Every breath rustles our leaves. We just wanted to assure you that you are safe here and wish you luck on your journey. Thank you, good sirs. I appreciate your good wishes. The voice in your head is now silent. What a strange place. My friends will never believe that I'm just experienced. Onwards I go. A very safe and warm feeling in my heart for some reason. The terrain slowly gains more traces of civilization as I progress over the next few hours. Tiny little huts dot the landscape, and eventually you see a bridge ahead with a number of people marching in a line. They appear like refugees of some sort. How should I proceed? Yeah, to me, they call this a visual novel, but it's more like one of those books from back in the day where it would be like, okay, you get to choose your own destiny type things. And that's what I wouldn't really consider this a visual novel. I think I would have more so called it a text-based adventure. Talk to the refugees, hide in the bush, fear and discovery. Talk to them. I am quite curious about these people and what they're doing out here. I wait for my chance and approach the line of people, shuffling slowly with downtrodden expressions etched on their faces. I see a man studying me a bit as I walk. His face looks rough as in some sort of accident, but his clothes look quite regal. Actually, you decide to speak. Greetings, good man. Greetings, good man. What is everyone doing here? Did something happen? And greetings to you as well, lady. We have been displaced by a recent skirmish in the area, and we are headed towards the mountain city of Tarsus to take shelter. And you? I am a wandering merchant, plying my trade in villages around here. I just happened to see your group and was curious. What is this city like? I can't say I've been there before. Indeed, it is the only the largest city in the Shanti realm, home to many men and women. I would think any merchant worth his salt would have been there before. Well, my lady, it lies just to the north of here. It is home to the king and many shops and sundries. Thanks for the info, brave sir. May the gods favor you in your journey to recover your life and livelihood. I walk ahead of the men, my mind spinning. Maybe the city of Tarsus will hold the answers I seek. I eventually break off from the group as I hear a commotion ahead. No sense getting mixed up in sordid affairs. Alrighty, so I'm going to save this. And we are going to go ahead. And we are going to move to our final game here. But, again, that is The Orphaned Soul. And they say it's a visual novel, but I would say it's more so a text-based adventure. And hello, Retro. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well this evening. So...